I don't think the air distributor thing usually moves, and even if it did, it shouldn't make any difference. I'm still pretty sure it's a short circuit or a battery. I really think we should open it up and check it out. Nah, it'll be fine. We'll wait for the tech. Yes, boss. Doesn't sit right with me, but I'm not authorized to open stuff up or override my manager. I drop it. Rack gets louder throughout the day, temps keep rising, AC works harder than normal, room gets louder. Sure you don't want to check it before we leave, just in case? Yeah, it'll be fine. I wake up the next day. It's a day off for me, nice little bit of annual leave just before my birthday. Spend a couple hours chilling, then realize I left my work phone on. As I go to switch it off, I notice a text in the group chat. Hey all, I was called in at 5 a.m. today by maintenance as one of the batteries in the Rack 4 UPS leaked overnight. It's now running on dirty power until fixed. X system is not operational, we're dealing with it. Colleagues 1 and 2, can you deal with phones? Colleagues 3 and 4, join my meeting later. Colleague 5, don't forget to contact supplier. I'm a junior, not a moron. Please listen to me sometimes. I promise I'm not as dumb as I may seem. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, we have one from a user called Kellimvor Sparky Fox. It says, Stage 1 is when they ignore you. Stage 2 is when they implement your proposed solutions as their own. Another commenter called Reinventing Wheels said, Stage 3 is when they blame you for not bringing the issue up sooner. Ah yes, the fun of being young. You're able to articulate that it's likely a serious issue, but because they think you don't know what you're talking about, or maybe they don't know what they're talking about, you get ignored. Around the age of 25-26 years old, my wife and I owned a convenience store, and it was one of a large chain. So when Karens came in and wanted to speak to the manager because something wasn't perfect, they wouldn't understand that I was the manager, and they still weren't going to get what they wanted. OP, I feel for you. This story comes to us from SadMission6754. I'm looking at it right now, and there's no screen. First time poster, but I used to work in a call center for a cell provider. Many times, people would call in with hardware issues that weren't really our problem to fix, since we really only dealt with the cell service. But today was a slow day, and I was happy, so I felt like helping this guy out. Mistake number 1. He was an older guy and not familiar with technology, but that's fine. I've worked with people that don't know technology really well before. I wish I was exaggerating, but I've literally had to describe to people what the power button is on their phone. Anyway, this guy bought a new phone with us and activated the day before, so he was asking for help turning his phone on and setting it up. Now, I worked in phone support and did not have the phone with me, so I had to walk him through these steps verbally. I could see that, based on his IMEI, he had a Samsung Galaxy A14. I walked him through inserting the SIM card, then asked him to hold the power button to turn the phone on. When he asked where the power button was, I gave him the answer I've unfortunately had to give to more people than I would have ever believed before working technical support. If you're looking at the screen, it will be on the right side of the phone. You'll see one big button, which is the volume button, and one smaller one. That one is the power button. What I wasn't ready for was his response. My phone doesn't have a screen. You have the Samsung Galaxy A14, right? I replied, even though I knew he did, because the steps to insert the SIM were all followed perfectly. But I wanted to make sure we weren't working with a flip phone and had the wrong IMEI. When he told me that he had a Samsung smartphone, I told him it did have a screen and the whole front side of it was the screen. That was when he yelled back at me, "You can see the phone I have, right?" I had mentioned that we had the IMEI, and that's how I knew what phone he had. I'm looking at it right now, and it has no screen. I really wasn't sure how else to describe the screen to this guy over the phone. I almost decided to just have him go to a neighbor or tech support place to just do it for him, because helping him over the phone was clearly not working. I'm not sure if it really was that he was oblivious to what a phone screen was, or if he didn't want to follow instructions and wanted me to press our magical make it work button. I decided to just have him try to describe what he was looking at on his phone right now. And he said, well, it has 3 circles and then it's completely flat. Honestly, the call was silent for way too long as I tried to process the fact that this guy was looking at the back of his phone the entire time and decided to yell at me instead of turning his phone around because he could not see the screen. After getting him to turn it on, I just told him to follow the on-screen prompts to finish setup of his phone and ended the call. I knew there were tech illiterate people and I tend to be fairly patient with them, but yelling at me that there's no screen on a smartphone while you're staring at the cameras? Really? Jumping down to the comment section on this one, we have one from a user called Earthman34. It says, people will rarely surprise you with how smart they are, but will often surprise you with how smart they are not. Another commenter down below called Warlock608 said, I found that people don't like feeling stupid, and instead of forgiving themselves for being human, they lash out at the nearest person. Tech makes people feel really stupid, and the less secure they are with themselves, the more they will take that frustration out on others. Paid my way through college in a call center, it really realigned my notion of how stupid the people of this country are. Ah yes, the incompetent user, the kind of person that when their computer doesn't work, disconnects their monitor and takes that into the repair shop. Wait a second, OP, were you dealing with my dad? This story comes to us from Comfortable Scale 132, the dumpster fire of a Teams meeting. This is just a couple of years ago. I work the help desk team currently, but I have a lot of experience in team leadership, administration, information security, development, and project management. So I am normally a liaison between help desk and other teams, providing advice and guidance. This is for a large fulfillment and logistics company. A project comes in which is to build a brand new centralized reporting tool. This is to replace the loads of Power BI, Excel, and Access databases that exist on the network that use ODBC connections to connect to SQL databases. There is no standard at this time. The database team has built out databases that are replicated from the production databases called reporting databases. No applications depend on these reporting databases, and there isn't much of a delay between the two. The problem begins when end users that work on the warehouse floor ask developers for the password to the production databases to do this reporting in Excel. The devs think nothing of it. The problem is, the account has administrative privileges, so it could both read and write data. And now, a regular Joe with a handheld scanner picking clothes for an order has God rights to these databases. Then, their management creates a spreadsheet that lists all of the passwords in plain text in SharePoint. Then, they build these Excel reports that query every 5 minutes on multiple machines across the enterprise. This cripples the databases, so they want this centralized reporting tool. Now, I'm aware of the use of these accounts. I spoke with the database team and they thanked me for telling them. They didn't know the full extent of the problem, and neither did I at the time. They encouraged me and the rest of the help desk team to push users into running queries against the reporting databases. This, however, was difficult to enforce. Okay, now you have the background, now here is the dumpster. The meeting begins. The project management team, reporting team, the fulfillment team, help desk team, and database team. One of the heads of fulfillment shares screen and begins talking about these reports. The screen share shows some of the queries and it immediately pulls the attention of the database team. Why the production databases? How did you get access? What accounts are you using? Then, here comes the flames. The moment that team realized that everyone knew the administrator passwords, the inferno began. Everyone sat quiet while the database manager was berating the fulfillment teams. My manager and I both are having a good chuckle to the side. I step away to straight up pop popcorn. I come back to the meeting. This guy is seething. He is asking questions such as, how did you get these accounts? Who approved this? These passwords are in plain text for all to see? You mean to tell me anyone can just drop a table? Information security team gets pulled into the call. The fulfillment team